Good morning and welcome to the Issacharov and Babayov Synagogue of Jerusalem.
Conceived in the authentic Bukharan style, which hails from Central Asia, this synagogue was founded in 1898 and was one of the most important hubs in the Bukharan district of Jerusalem.
We have hard evidence of how it was built. Inscribed on this plaque, all the names of those who funded its construction.
Avner Babayov is a sixth-generation Jew from Bukhara. Now in present-day Uzbekistan, he was born and raised in Jerusalem.
We received an authentic Bukharian and Jewish education. It's as if we were educated in Bukhara. We spoke Bukhari at home. I had a beautiful childhood. I remember when we would come out of the synagogue Friday night on Shabbat. Every house had the same smell of the same dish we ate on Shabbat.
The story of this ethno-religious group of Jews begins nearly 200 years ago.
In 1827, Jews began to arrive in Jerusalem from Bukhara.
These first trips were pilgrimages, but little by little they settled down, and a Bukharan community was established in Jerusalem.
Nearly 60 years later, the Trans-Aral Railway was built in 1888, connecting European Russia with Central Asia.
The Jews of Bukhara were mostly merchants and used to traveling. But thanks to the Trans-Aral Railway, they were able to cross longer distances more easily. 2 years after its creation, 500 Jews from Bukhara arrived in Jerusalem, one of the first mass migrations to Israel.
Their aspiration was to bring all the Jews from Bukhara and Samarkand. They wanted there to be no more diaspora.
For over a century and a half, the waves of migration from Bukhara followed one another.
They gave a lot of money to support Talmudic study centers all over the country. They worshipped Israel. But one question remained: where to settle?
The old city of Jerusalem was too populated, and the Jews of Bukhara feared disease. But when rich merchant and rabbi Shlomo Mosayev came to Israel in 1890, he gathered the Bukhari Jews to decide where they would establish their community.
They decided to build a city in Jerusalem. There, the Bukharan Jews found a real passion, a real spiritual bond with Jerusalem.
At the same time, the city was filled with narrow streets and small buildings, but the Bukharans built a neighborhood with wide boulevards, hence their names Rehovot, meaning broad in Hebrew.
Each of the building courtyards is about 1 acre, and every building belonged to one family.
Ronit, president of the Jewish Association of Bukhara in Israel, takes us to the courtyard where a large part of her family lived.
My mother, Beit Maliov, was born here, and I spent every holiday and vacation in my childhood here. I always went up those cold and dark stairs with fear, and I loved sitting by that window.
On each floor and behind every door, another member of her family.
Everyone was always talking to each other, calling each other from different floors. Sipor, come here. Have you eaten? Did you make something? You have to imagine all the kids screaming and dancing and laughing together. The splendor that was there, the magnificent childhood that I had, and all that remains is nostalgia.
What remains of the first Bukharan district of Jerusalem, Ronit dislikes.
Today, everything has become very religious. The neighborhood has lost its authentic Bukhari glow. What do you want? It's the product of time. Still, it hurts a bit.
After the State of Israel was formally established in 1948, Israel and Russian ties strained. The next great migrant wave took place in the 1970s, and then 2 decades later, with the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Jews of Bukhara left en masse to the United States, to Canada, but most decided to settle right here in Israel.